Paltrocast.
I'm going to say good afternoon, right? You're on Pacific time?
Correct, yes.
Well, thank you for taking the time. How's your day going aside from having to do interviews and talk about yourself a lot?
It's a beautiful day. It's sunny here, so I'm very happy today. It's gonna be a good day.
Glad to hear that. Now, are you in between jobs right now, or are you secretly working on something right now? Because there's the BET+ series, there's a couple upcoming movies, you write, you produce, you podcast. You always seem to be working on something.
Thank God I'm always working. I started pre-production on my next film. It's a dramedy that I wrote, and I'm gonna produce it. So I started production, and I also just booked a commercial I'm shooting in San Francisco this week. So I just went to a fitting yesterday, and I'm filming it this week later.
Wow. So when we talk about the family business New Orleans, that could be like 4 projects ago for you.
Right.
Got it. So you mentioned you have a new project that you wrote and produced and all that kind of stuff. Was that the plan all along to not just be an actress, but also to create?
So I transformed myself during COVID because COVID was very long and I love writing. I've always loved writing. So I realized I know a lot of people in the business. I've been in this business for 10 years. I've been on multiple sets. So I took a chance on myself and I started producing my film. So I put people together, cast together, actors, crew, everybody that I know, and I've been making films since COVID. So my first film is Epiphany, and my other film is It's Time. And now I'm working on my next one because I like to produce. I realize it's the things that I love to do. It's fun to put people together, to create something and then see it in a theater. So I discover a new love for the art, to be behind the scene, not always on camera. And I love to create. I love to give back. So for me also as a producer, I'm giving back to other people. I'm giving their chance. And because when I came here, somebody gave me a chance. So I think it's my turn to do that. And I
Mhm.
also noticed that because of the streaming industry, everybody's making new content. So why should I should make content too, you know? So
Right.
now all the platforms are buying content, and it's time to create. I think it's a good time to be a creator, to be a writer, to be a producer, and I mean in Hollywood. So yeah.
The first thing that you wrote, did you produce that? Was that It's Time, or did you have to throw out a bunch of things before you got to that?
So the first thing that I produced was It's Time. I wrote it. I was living in New York. I took screenwriting classes. I took studio production classes. And I applied to a screenplay contest and I won, but they never sent me the money. I was very upset.
Yeah.
So I decided to produce it myself, and I've been looking for a team to do it. So that was my very first project. And I self-financed it with another person, and we made it happen.
Wow. Okay. Because a lot of people, the first thing or two that they write, they kind of realize they don't enjoy it very much. They see all the things that they did wrong, but you actually finished it and produced it. That's very rare.
Yeah, we produced it. We shot it during COVID, and we put it in festivals. It's been to 8 festivals. We had a lot of traction there, and now we're about to sell it. So I'm very proud of myself for making this journey as a producer writer. It's interesting journey, and it's a beautiful journey.
But something that you mentioned before about how you started writing and producing and taking things into your own hands during COVID because you saw all the changes and all that. Had you tried writing years ago?
So I always loved writing, but when I was younger, I was doing poetry contest. I was writing novels. I love reading, so I love writing as well.
Mhm.
But I've been so busy as an actor, I didn't have the time to sit down and write something. COVID was really the time that I was like, okay, I have time, let's write. So I really started during COVID, being more
And
productive as a writer.
right, right. And you mentioned before working on streamer shows, HBO Max stuff, Apple TV stuff, BET Plus, all over the place and all that. And I think that scared a lot of actors originally, the streamers, because, and this is going to lead to a question, I promise. But when you look at TV from 15 to 20 years ago, the dream was to kind of be on a CBS, ABC, Fox network kind of show. And now it seems like the dream is to be on a Netflix, Apple, or Hulu kind of show because the money is there, but there's also the creative control. It's got to be 26 minutes. It's all different. When did you kind of realize that the streamers were a good thing for your career?
Because everybody's watching Netflix, everybody's watching Apple TV. If you people stop going to theater during COVID also. So everybody was on streamers, and myself, I was on streamers too. So I realize people like to watch at home from their computer, from their TV. So people are not going out as much as they used to. So now people are switching to the streamers, and it's good to be on a streamer as an actor. So I've been blessed to work on HBO Max, Apple TV, BT Plus, and I also love working on the original network, which is CBS, as you said. But as an actor, we just want to work. I don't. It doesn't matter if it's a film, if it's a TV show. I'm just blessed and happy to be on set. So if it goes on a streamer, if it go in theater, I'm so happy just to be on set, to be working, to be creative, to be around creative people. Just that, it's a joy. And then if they put it everywhere, I'm so happy too.
For
Yeah.
you and the parts that you book, are there usually through auditions? Is it through agent stuff, or is it through you knowing other talent?
So I've had both experiences. So my team helps me a lot. They submit me to project, I get audition and I book. But for
Mhm.
example, the last project that I just booked, which is a family business New Orleans, it was an offer. I did not audition. I have submitted myself because I was seeing the breakdown. They was posting the breakdown on Actors Access, and I told my team, I want to be on that show. Can you please submit me, pitch me for this show? I want to be on it. So I just got a call on a Sunday. Hey, they want you for the show, and I'm like, which show? The family business. You booked it. I said confirm right away. So it was an offer. I didn't audition, and I've had offers. I also have friends who are producer who invite me to work on their projects. That has happened
Mhm.
to me. And on the family business, I work on the cast. One of the cast member I worked with her on a movie like 2 years ago. So I was so happy to work with her again. And this time she was an actor, not a producer. So it's full circle for me when I work with people I've worked with before. Or I also work on a TV show in New York, and just like that. And
Mhm.
the cast, the actor was playing my son is a friend of mine. So it was fun to see people that you've worked before, but it's a mix. Sometimes it's my team who get me the part. Sometimes I get the part myself. I self-submit and I get the part. So it's a mix of different things.
And you speak 4 or 5 different languages depending on which research source you consult. Are you auditioning in different languages for different parts like that? In other words, is there a French agent, an American English agent, et cetera, or is it the same team putting you up for everything?
So I have a team in America for different city. I work in different markets. So I have my agent in New Mexico, my agent in Hawaii, my agent in New York, my agent in LA. But I also have an agent in Spain that is submitting me. I have an agent in Paris that is submitting me. So I want to work everywhere. I want to be an international, global actress. I work in Canada, I work in Mexico, and now I'm trying to get work in Europe. I would love to work in more countries. So I have, I have team everywhere I want to work, basically. Every market I want to work, I have someone to submit me to get me jobs. So that's how I do it.
Great. So that's hustling in a good way. That's positive hustling.
Yes.
Yeah. So, what's life like for you when you're not working? I ask that because sometimes you find that actors are golfers or they have a singing career they're pursuing. And then other people go, I do absolutely nothing. I go to the beach until I'm working.
So I love to do yoga. I've been doing yoga for more than 10 years. It's very important in my life to feel good, to work out. I love to go to the beach. I'm a nature lover, so I go hiking. I go to the beach every week. I just need time by myself, like 30 minutes, relax, you do nothing. I love to travel. I'm a globetrotter. I do 3 different trips a year. This year I've been to Saudi Arabia already. I've been
Hmm.
to Dubai. I was in France for Christmas and New Year. So I love to travel. It's my joy to go on vacation and relax. I love to go to the spa. I love to read. I love to go to the movies. I love to party. I love to go to Vegas. I love music. I go to concerts. Yeah, these are the things I love to do when I'm not working.
What's the last concert that you went to? Because you mentioned loving going to concerts.
I just went to see Aventura. Aventura, the bachata band. It was amazing. It's uh, music that I love. I love Latino music. I love dancing. So yeah, that was my last concert. And I'm going to see Gilo next month. No, in July. She's doing a big tour. So I'm going to see her for the second time because I saw her in New York, and that's the next concert I'm going to.
Do you have musical aspirations? For example, are you secretly a singer and we just don't know it yet?
I am not secretly a singer, but I did sing in a movie. I'm a voice actor. As I said, I speak 4 languages. So I was asked to sing for Nina Simone. They did a movie about Nina Simone, and I sing on the movie, but I don't consider myself a singer.
What, how is it that you're not a singer, but you sang on it? Did they use some Pro Tools digital editing on your vocal tracks?
No, we just needed some singing. So I was part of the voice actor who did the singing in the movie.
Got it. So two quick questions, and then I let you go. The first one is, do you have an ultimate goal in your career that you're working towards? Because some actors have everything mapped out and they have vision boards, and other people just know to breathe and let everything happen.
I'm a goal-oriented person, so every time I try to reach new goals, and now, as I said, I'm a writer-producer. I did short films. I want to go next level and do feature films as a producer-writer. As an actor, I want to work on more projects, big directors that I haven't worked with yet. I want to star in more movies. I want to work on more TV shows. I want to expand internationally. That's my goal. I want to work everywhere.
Wow. Okay, that is a series of goals right there. And the last thing I got for you before I let you go is what or who or why did you become an actress?
I started theater when I was a kid. My mom, she put me in a different activity as a kid. I was in dancing class, I was in theater, I was in choir class, I was in musical class, I was in painting class. And I really loved being in theater, but I never thought it could be a job. I never thought people doing theater make money until I came to America and I've been on set and I realized, oh, this is a job. People make money doing this. So I got inspired by other people. Like I was watching a lot of TV show when I was a kid. I was watching a lot of movies. And one actress stuck me. She's a French actress named Noémie Lenoir. I was on vacation and I saw her on TV. She's a French Black actress and I saw her on TV in America. And I was like, how did she do that? It was weird that she made it in America on American TV. So she really inspired me to do it too. And I went for it. I came to America a few years ago and I tried and I love it. And I realized this is a good career. I love what I'm doing. So yeah, that was my inspiration. Seeing her on TV changed my life.
That is a much better positive answer than I was expecting. A lot of people, well, my parents dropped me off at an audition and I got the part and here I am. That's a lot of what you hear these days. So
Not
you
my
chose to do it.
story. Yeah.
Well, looking forward to what's to come from you, whether you are actress, writer, and or producer, and congratulations on all the recent success. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Paltrocast.